From Charlottesville, Virginia, where the legacy of enslaved labor is finally acknowledged, Mike and I follow the same story south to Richmond, where industry, war, and human cost collided during the American Civil War. Mike and I, Civil War Museum in Richmond, Virginia. Follow-up trip from Monticello. We brought our $20 bills with us.
Pardon?
Did you bring your $20 bills with you?
Yeah.
So right now we're looking at the museum. It's early, so we can't go in. We are standing in front of the Tredegar Iron Works, founded in 1837, the South's largest iron manufacturer. Produced 50% of all the Confederate artillery. Workforce included free workers, enslaved laborers, and skilled immigrant iron workers. We have some time before the museum opens, so Mike and I are going to make our way over to the canal system and to the bridge over the James River. Very vital to the war, and you'll see why. It starts here with these pumps, which was part of the canal system moving water to power mills, factories, and ironworks along the James River. During the Civil War, this water meant industry, and industry meant survival. So without systems like this, Richmond couldn't have fueled its factories, its railroad, or its war. Mike and I are stepping onto the 3 days in April 1865 bridge here at Browns Island. And this isn't just a walkway, it's a timeline. Beneath our feet, the inscriptions along these boards recount the first week of April 1865 in the words of people who were actually there. Witnesses, participants, civilians, soldiers, enslaved Richmonders. In early April 1865, Richmond was the capital of the Confederacy, but it was collapsing. Confederate forces were retreating, supplies were running low, and on April 2nd, the order came to evacuate the city. As we walk forward, these boards tell the story of warehouses set on fire, tobacco, cotton, and ammunition stores deliberately burned to keep them from the Union hands. But the first fire spread beyond control. What began as a military decision turned into the Great Richmond Fire. Entire districts went up in flames. Just ahead, overlooking the James River, you can see why this location mattered so much. The river wasn't just scenery, it was powered industry. It fed the canal system. It supported Tredegar Iron Works, which produced roughly half of the Confederacy's artillery. And these bridges here, they were lifelines. During the war, Richmond was connected by multiple critical crossing railroad bridges, wagon bridges, and pontoon bridges. The Richmond and Danville Railroad carried troops and supplies south. The Richmond and Petersburg line linked to the vital rail network feeding the Confederate Army. Rail trestles stretched across the James River and connected Richmond to the rest of the South. When evacuation began, many of these bridges were destroyed, burned down, or blown apart to slow the Union forces. In 1861, these crossings marked the rise of the Confederate capital. In 1865, they marked its fall. And today, walking across this bridge, you literally stepping through those 3 days, where fire, freedom, and history converged along the river that shaped Richmond. American Civil War Museum with Mike. Load it up, Mike.
I want to get a nice picture for Dana. Why don't you stand right here? Let me find a lighter.
Mike wants me to stand in front of the camera so he can blow a hole directly through me.
I'm going to go find a lighter, and I'll be right back.
Just don't move, right?
Yep.
What do we got here?
Fully dressed cannon. All the equipment, ramrod.
Yeah, they used to throw Make sure all the embers were out before they reloaded it, right?
Yep. It's actually got a manufacturer's plate on it, it looks like.
Once you pick it up and recenter it.
Yeah, give it a shot.
It's got to be pretty heavy.
Late Napoleon bronze field gun.
Napoleon bronze field gun, huh?
Yep. Made by the Theodore Car Foundry. Oh, the cannon was built right here in Richmond.
Looking down the barrel. Look at that thing.
Yep.
Ramrodding. What if those things got shot up? You had a bronze 3.3 inch rifled tube. Meaning they rifled it, huh?
Yeah, you can see here where it gives a spin
On the ball, huh?
the gyroscopic effect supposedly makes it go straight.
Dominion Energy Gallery. 1861 casualties, Union 51 thou, Confederate 33. Model 1842. Look at that beast. Look at this gun, Mike.
It's a beauty.
I put a hole through, yeah. Sniper. Early day snipes. Look at that. Pistol with a stock. Life on the road, man. Looks like me. Railroads helped the Confederate triumph. Look at that fancy hat.
Retreat of the army. The soldiers threw away their guns and blankets.
The dying and wounded, all mixed up together. Friend and foe embraced in death. Some crying for water, some praying their last prayer.
No words can describe the horrors around me. 2 men dead and covered with blood were carried down the stairs as I waited. I found my dear husband lying on a stretcher, still covered with blood.
When Fort Sumter was fired upon, some said the war was short.
1861 to 1862 casualties, 267,297. Union, 211,826. Confederate. Colors are faded heavy. 13 stars. Oh my lord.
Surgical tools.
If you want to call it that. They had big saws too. See that one right there?
Yep.
I would have liked to stay on the field if you ask me.
Didn't tell no one they was free. The Yankees went there and turned us loose on the 19th of June.
Treated as slaves, not as soldiers.
They turned us out just like cattle.
I remember we were so happy. Just rang bells, blowed horns, and shouted like we.
General Robert E. Lee. This is his gun. Some personal effects here. Looks like it's a draft. drum. Draft riots. Anger over the draft erupted in bloodshed and violence in New York City. Bread riots. Non-regulation U.S. Staff and field officers soared. Look at that hat, man. It's got a couple holes in it, too. A couple of big ones. Look at that guy's hat, man. Big old hole right through it. Here he is. Major General Jeb Stuart, Cavalry Commander. Go back, and do your duty as I have done mine, and our country will be safe. These were his personal effects. Some of his boots. Field hat. Field saber. A monster of a gun. And his field binoculars. And of course his field dresser, where he got all his communications in from. Really interesting. Manassas number 2, Ox Hill. It's a flag from Manassas 2. Wow. Seeing cool stuff, Mike?
Everything in here is pretty cool.
That flag is from Manassas 2.
Yeah, I read that.
What are those little kids things they've carved out?
Yeah, little toys somebody carved.
Making trinkets to survive. Pretty crafty, I'd say. The women's hats of the day. Don't look too comfy if you ask me. First Regiment Maryland Volunteers. National flag of the 1st Maryland Infantry, 1861 to 1862. That's an old piece of fabric. Sabers. Union colored troops. Look at that spiffy suit. That's a nice cool gun right there. Once those started coming in, war was different. Necklace. Verena Davis gave this necklace as a gift to her Irish housekeeper. Confederate flag. It's the closest I've ever been to a real one. What in the hell? White supremacists founded paramilitary organizations and threatened African Americans. Post-war.
And you have Lee Thomas Stonewall Jackson.
Oh, there it is, Stonewall. He was badass. This wall dates back to the mid-1800s and is part of the Tredegar Iron Works original building, when this complex was one of the most important industrial sites in the Confederacy. Around it, the museum displays rifles, muskets, and weapons used by soldiers on both sides of the war. The information panels that are along the hallway connect those artifacts to the bigger story, how industry, technology, and the people who worked in these places like Tredegar helped shape the outcome of this Civil War. Thanks for watching, and look forward to more.